Working on the track and field today. I'm going to replace the battery. This battery is what saves your high scores on your game. I've already desoldered it and it's just laying in place. I'll pull it out and you see the two holes there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in its place, and you see one of the pins, the positive pin, you can get in and it'll fit in there nicely, but the negative doesn't line up. It's off a little bit. So what we'll do is we'll rotate this to here to where it's not hitting a trace, drill a hole, and then from the back side solder a wire to it. It'll come through about right here. Solder a wire through it over to the trace. That'll make the connection, and that way when we want to change this battery, we'll be able just to swap the batteries. We won't have to solder it again the next time. So I'll put a light behind it to show where the traces run, and it looks like if I drill right here, I can get the negative in and it won't hit anything else and cause us any trouble. So that's what I'm going to do now. I've marked the hole with a Sharpie. See it right there. So I'll take a drill. I have a 1/16 inch drill bit that I'm going to use, and we'll drill a hole through there and get this mounted. I have our hole drilled now, so we're going to place our battery holder in the two holes. It fits right in there, and then we'll solder from the other side. We'll solder the positive to hold it in place, then we'll get us a little wire and put on the negative. I have the positive end soldered in right here, and what I did was I cut off the end of a capacitor, a new capacitor, and put it in the hole where the negative is, and I'm going to take and bend it over and lay it down right on the negative pin right there. And now I'll solder that, and that should give us a good connection. Okay, I have them both soldered in place. Here's the one where I ran across to the negative lead. Here's the positive lead. Now what I'll do is I'll take my meter and I'll read and make sure that we have voltage. And I like to go down a little bit on the trace. I don't like reading here. I like reading at the next trace spot where you can read it. So I'll read it from here and here, and I should get 3 volts across my meter. Right there. Alright, 3.1 volts. So it looks like we have a good connection on the battery. We're going to put it in and see if it retains our scores now. I played a couple of games on it, and now I want to turn it back on and see if it retained the high score. I also was having trouble with, I would have to turn the game on 2 or 3 times to get it to come on. And turned out that was just a bad power supply. It has a switcher installed, and I replaced it, and it comes on the first time now. So we'll turn it on and we'll see if the high scores and the records are still there. Okay, you see it saved the world record here for the long jump. And now after this it'll cycle back and it'll do the high scores. So there you go. It saved the 3 scores that I put on there. So looks like it worked out pretty good. It wasn't that hard to do. You just have to be careful, take your time.